Welcome. Today I have 23 cars and trucks and a trailer to show you. And these are going to span from Matchbox main lines through to Inno64 super premium models. So what we're going to start with is this Mini GT Chevrolet Corvette C8R. So a couple weeks ago we had gotten the number 4 car in this gray with a yellow stripe, and now we get the number 3 car in the inverse, which is yellow with a gray stripe. And this is a Miho exclusive, limited one of 3,600. Again, Miho exclusives, I believe, is just this packaging that's limited because this release is available internationally, I'm pretty sure. And if you know anything about Corvette racing, this yellow is the iconic livery for Corvette racing cars. The gray, the gray variation they introduced a couple years ago, but historically they've always run yellow, and they used to run all the cars in yellow before they introduced the gray. But so this is the inverse of the gray car, so it's overall yellow with a gray stripe. And the Corvette C8 is a car. I know a lot of people don't really get into it. You know, it's had much more mixed opinions than I would have expected when Corvette first or Chevrolet first announced it. My opinion of it is mixed as well. In reality, the street car I think is a little iffy at times. It looks a little bit unbalanced to me if it doesn't have a wing on it. So on the C8R, we don't have that problem, and I think the C8R looks awesome. And Mini GT has done a fantastic job in capturing this car. So this is the GTLM spec car. This ran in IMSA at the 24 Hours of Daytona, and the same car runs in the WEC, the World Endurance Championship, as well. So they run these cars at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in the GTE class. But this particular model is from the 24 Hours of Daytona. It's a beautiful model. So very happy with that. And then earlier this week, I did an unboxing on Greenlight Estate Wagon Series 5. And this 1983 Mercury Grand Marquis Colony Park came in that case. And if you watch that video, you know that I was a little iffy on this color. So I wanted to see it out of the package. I have not removed it from the package. Let's see if it looks any better once you get it out of the package. Because this kind of a baby blue with this brown wood trim on the side. And yeah, I'm still not sure that I really dig this color. It looks very different on the camera than it does to the naked eye. It's darker on the camera, so it's truly a baby blue color to the naked eye, and probably not my favorite color of this wagon, which is unfortunate because I do love this casting, and this release is a little bit disappointing to me, but that's okay. Can't win them all. Then from the blue collar collection, I had this in my last video. I skipped over it because I hadn't cut it, so we're just gonna pull it out of the package and take a quick look at it. It's not the world's most interesting vehicle. 1970 Jeepster Commando pickup. It looks kind of cool. Metallic blue, painted headlights, spare tire in the back there that matches the wheels on the vehicle. White top, which may be removable. Maybe not. Nope. Actually, that's going to come off, but I'm not sure it's supposed. Oh, it's rubber banded. Okay. There we go. So it comes off. There we go. Oh, that's cool. It actually looks a lot better without that top. Yeah. Yeah, way better. Cool. Okay, so we'll put the top back together with it, but that one it's definitely a winner without the top. Next up from Para64. This is a Mercedes AMG G63 in a Liberty Walk body kit from Para64. So just a quick look at the back here. If you're not familiar with Para64, they are a premium brand. I would consider them in the same category as a Mini GT, even though they do come on these acrylic plinths that Mini GTs do not. These are not a super premium display model like a Inno64 or something would be. They're intended to roll, and they are, like I said, more equivalent to a Mini GT than some of the higher end diecast brands. So this is actually a pretty cool looking version of this. It it has the Liberty Walk editions, which I guess is going to involve some wheel well extensions, and then this roof treatment is definitely different. So I've been under the impression that Para64 is true 1/64 scale, but if we compare this to this era car, which I have measured and is 1/64, the wheelbase on this one's a little bit longer. So I don't know if this vehicle is just longer or if this is slightly large for scale. It's very possible it may just be a little bit longer. I should probably look into that, because I would really like to know if Para64 is true 1/64 scale. But this is cool. I like that one. Next up, we have a older Hot Wheels mainline. I've had these sitting around for a while, and I just wanted to get them open because I've been trying to complete this set, and I think at this stage I'm going to give up and just say I'm never going to find those, at least not in, just the regular store. So we just have a VW Golf in this semi-racing livery. No need to spend a lot of time on this. It's kind of a cool release. I like this Golf casting. But compared to the other stuff we're going to look at, these are not going to be the most interesting things in the 08 Ford Focus. These releases, I think, were from probably early in 2020 or sometime in 2020. Maybe it was early 2021. I don't know. Anyway, so we have Ford Focus, again in a red racing livery. So, kind of cool. We have many more interesting things to look at. In my estate wagons case, I also pulled this 1955 Chevrolet 210 Handyman, and this is a green machine. It's actually kind of a cool looking green machine as far as the wheels go. I'm not a huge fan of these green wheel green machines, but the way that they did these wheels actually looks pretty nice. I haven't gotten the regular version of this one yet, but I probably will track it down. I'm not going to open this because I don't collect green machines, and it will go to somebody else at some point in time. Then next up, our first Inno64, another version of the Ford Sierra RS500 Cosworth, this time in blue. And again, it comes with some extra wheels, which is nice. The ones that come with these extra wheels, this is actually really fantastic value because, if you do customs, wheels are actually quite expensive. If you wanted to buy a wheel of this quality, it's those can cost you $8 to $10 on their own. But we're gonna take this off the base and take a look at it. So last week we got this in white, and this one. And then we also got it in a racing livery and or a racing version. Because the racing version and the street version are not the same. So these two seem to be pretty much the same. It's just a straight recolor. So white versus a nice metallic blue. The wheels are the same. Looks like the interior is the same. Let's see if I can get my little light that I've been using to try to light up these interiors. So you can see there's a pattern on the seats. It's a right-hand drive. And you know, these Innos have very, very detailed interiors overall. So they're kind of fantastic models from that in that regard. But yeah, so this is the white one and this one are straight recolors of each other. But still, these are beautiful models. It's going to be hard for me to resist getting all of them. I already have 5, I think, and they've already put out 6. Like in 1 month, they put out 6, which is it's an awful lot, awful fast. But you know, what are you going to do? Okay, then again, Greenlight Estate Wagons, Series 5, 1971 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser in red with wood trim. And this is a pretty cool looking one. It's got some... Wow, this is really dirty. What in the world? Oh well, I'm not going to dwell on that. So the tailgate opens. I'm sure this will clean up, but man, I don't... Greenlight. If you watch my videos at all, you know that I have a fair number of quality issues with Greenlight. Love the brand. Looks like this hood should open. Does it open? Oh, well, maybe not. I mean, that looks like a gap. I mean, that should open, but I'm not going to mess with it. Yeah, Greenlight quality. Very hit or miss. At least the windows in this seem to be clean. That's a win. Reasonably clean. They're not perfect, but I like the red dots on the wheels. God, so dirty. Yeah, it's a cool car. It's cool. I love these wagons. Oh, I love all wagons in reality. Do a little cleanup here. Next up from Greenlight again. This time it's an Indycar, number 51, Romain Grosjean. So this I got because I've been collecting the Indy cars they've been putting out, driven by former Formula One drivers. So Romain, how do I say his name? Romain drove for Haas in Formula One and came very, very close to dying in his final race in Formula One, when he spun off into a barrier and the Armco split in two and the car exploded. It was really, really dramatic and terrible crash, and he emerged out of the flames miraculously. It was actually a very crazy scene, but now he drives an Indycar. And the interesting thing about this Indycar is this is in a super speedway aero spec, so it has very small rear wing, very small front wing, and Grosjean doesn't drive on ovals, so super speedways are ovals, and he actually didn't race on any of the ovals, at least not in his first season. I believe he's decided that he is doing that now. I'm not sure if he has raced on an oval yet, but it's a little bit inaccurate to put out a car in this aero spec for this particular driver. But anyway, they only have one version of this casting, so I wish they would do one with the regular aero kit. And then, okay, next we have from Inno64, another Ford Sierra RS500 Cosworth. This is the racing version, number 8's Watson's Water livery. And this is part of the Macau GP collection for 2021. And so we're going to see another car later that's also part of this collection. So that's worth noting. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this off the base. And this is a really cool livery. It's been a pretty common racing livery. I think I have, yeah, actually I have it right here. I also have this Mini GT BMW M3 in the same or a similar livery. And this Cosworth, I just love this Inno64 Cosworth casting. It is very cool. So this is the racing version. And so again, let's try to take a quick look at this interior. So here the interior is all blue. It is right-hand drive. You can see a fire extinguisher in there. Racing seat. If we can turn it around, you should be able to see the seat belts and stuff in there. And yeah, so they do a very, very detailed job. And then the last one that we got was this one in Texaco livery. And so these are not exactly the same. The Watson's car is right-hand drive. The Texaco is left-hand drive. And the Texaco has an antenna on the roof that the Watson's doesn't have. It looks like the rest of the casting is pretty much the same, though. But, you know, small little subtle details like that are the kind of thing that I really like to see. And I really like it when companies do variations on castings for, you know, different races, versions. Oh, one other detail I just noticed. This one has a single windshield wiper, and this one has two. So that would have been a difference in the real cars, I'm sure. So, like I said, I love it when companies do that, which is one of the reasons why I'm such a big fan of Greenlight, despite their seemingly endless quality issues. They have so many variations in their toolings for different years and you know, different manufacturers, like a Pontiac versus what goes together with Pontiac, Chevrolet. Right, Pontiac was a GM brand, right? Okay. I used to drive a Pontiac. You'd think I would know that. So this was the 1977 Pontiac Gran LeMans Safari in this yellow and brown. This one looks really cool. But again, look at those windows. It's just such a common problem. Look at that. That window is just completely clouded up. Fortunately, that's on the tailgate, so it probably can be cleaned. But yeah, okay. Anyway, let's ignore that. Just focus on the model. Otherwise, this is a very cool looking. Love the yellow and brown. It's another one of these 70s cars in this you know, just something you would only have seen in that era. You would not see a modern car that looks like this. But yeah, very cool. Like that one. Next up from Car, we have a Nissan GTR R35. This is Nismo 2022, and then the special edition Stealth Gray. So this is USA Limited, supposedly one of 1,200. And this is a 2022 version of this GTR. Car has put out previously. Let's see if I can take a look at this real quick. So there's 3 versions of this. I also have this one coming. That one's really cool. The Portuguese police car. It's actually a organ transportation car. So where they need rapid delivery for organ transplants. So what was I saying? So Indycar has done a 2020 version of this. And like I was just talking about with Inno64 and Greenlight, I'm very interested in brands when they do subtle variations between these. So I'm curious, what are the differences between the 2022 version of this car and the 2020 version? Are there any? There aren't any that I see. So this is the 2020 version. There's definitely nothing that stands out as being an actual variation. This one has a carbon hood, but that's just a detail in the particular release. So yeah, I don't. Let me know if you see any differences. I don't see any differences. They look exactly the same to me. Wheels are the same. Wing is the same. Front end looks the same. So other than colors, they seem to be the same. Indycar to me is a very interesting brand, though. I think a lot of people have incorrect expectations of it because they do this casting so much, and they get compared. Like when you look at the way they're packaged, like they come with the box. A lot of times they just come in the box, and they look very similar to a Mini GT, and so people have the expectation that they're going to be like a Mini GT, but they're really not. They are a different category. It's on some level a different category of vehicle because they have opening parts. So let's see if this door doesn't seem to want to open. Actually, this one doesn't want to open either. Interesting. So these are not going to open. Well, let's look at it on this white one because these open very easily. So they have opening parts, and they have quite a bit of detail. So let's break out my little light again. And you can see that the interior is fairly detailed. And actually, I think it probably beats Mini GT in that regard a lot of the time. And the fact that they have, opening parts can kind of show that off a little bit better. But the opening parts thing comes with its, typical flaws, as they always do. And you get these gaps, and the doors don't always close perfectly, and they get a little bit out of alignment, like you can see right there. And so a lot of people seem to be very disappointed with the brand because of these kind of issues. Which is unfortunate because I think it's an interesting brand. And I had launched a series earlier this week that I called Beyond Hot Wheels. And I'll be doing a Beyond Hot Wheels episode on Indycar in the future to show off some of the other castings because I have quite a few Indycar castings now that I have never shown on the channel. So we'll take a closer look at the brand. Anyway, I'm supposed to be looking at this one because this was the new one. And anyway, so Indycar, interesting brand. I think you have to set your expectations correctly on it as far as what you're going to get. It is not a Mini GT clone. It is a different thing, so you have to adjust accordingly. Next up, back to State Wagon Series 5. We have the 1970 Plymouth Belvedere Emergency Wagon, and this was the primary reason that I bought that case. I had wanted this casting for a long time, and I actually couldn't find it inexpensively by itself, so I just went ahead and bought a whole case. And again, look at those windows. They're terrible. Okay. Might be able to clean those since the hatch is supposed to fold down. Of course, that seems like it's not going to fold down either. No, not going to fold down. Oh well. Yeah, I love classic police cars. I mean, this one's kind of a generic police. I don't know what specific locality this is supposed to represent, or maybe it's not supposed to represent anything. But I like the little gumdrop light on the roof and the siren here. And it's just a cool release. But man, dude, those windows, look at that. They're just terrible. Ugh, so frustrating. All right, next we get this Toyota Celica 1600 GT from the Crown Motors Racing Team. So another Inno64. Then again, Macau GP 2021 Special Edition. So the same series as this Cosworth, Sierra Cosworth. This thing looks really cool. I believe this is the first version of this casting that they have released. And, I mean, you know that from Inno64, it's not going to be the last. So, yeah, this is cool. I love the Celica for some reason. And this one actually has a metal base. So metal body, metal base, rubber tires. Actually, this one's even going to roll, isn't it? It does. Normally, Inno64s don't roll. Most of the time, they do not roll. Like these Cosworths. Yeah, this one doesn't roll. And it's just the way they are. I don't mean that as a true criticism of the brand or anything. You know, they're trying to make them realistic. They're trying to get accurate stance on the vehicles, and getting cars to roll when they have, especially when they sit kind of low, is a tricky thing to do. So I don't mean that as a criticism of the brand in reality, but it's just my preference. I do like it when cars roll. But this having a metal base is very interesting because these cars, these ones with, this has a plastic base. So these are very light. Even though it's a metal body, they're very light. This feels like a much more substantial model. And I had heard today from a small model collector that, I think it was Small Model Collector, that said they're supposed to be doing metal bases all the time. On all the new releases, so that's interesting and good. And anyway, so I'm gonna stop rambling about that and let's focus on this model. So we get side exhaust, very cool looking wheels. Love the mirrors. Love that they included the mirrors. This car does not look right if you don't include the mirrors. And very nice looking front end. Just beautiful. And let's see if, I don't think we're going to be able to see much inside this car, but let's take a look, try to take a look. Yeah, it looks like it's pretty much just a black interior in there. Not a whole lot to see, so we won't spend a lot of time on that. But yes, love this. Yeah, this is really awesome. Definitely looking forward to additional releases of that casting. That will be very, very welcome. So you can expect to see that on future videos. And speaking of future videos, I try to do a video like this every week. So if you're enjoying this at all, please consider subscribing. Definitely helps me out, keeps me motivated to keep doing this. So 1969 Plymouth Satellite Station Wagon in white. One of my favorite wagons from Greenlight. This satellite casting. So like this one, which was it's this same basic car, but different brand. But yeah, this is just a basic white version. There's not a whole lot to say about this. Again, this tailgate's not gonna open, but at least the windows are clean. Say that about it. But yeah, I love these kind of things. Nice basic white chrome wheels. It's definitely a winner for me. So we don't need to spend a lot of time on that though. Next up, we have some Matchbox mainlines. This is an old 5-pack. The Police Rescue 5-pack. All of these are in NYPD livery. And this is from, copyright is 2015, so maybe a 2016 release. And I did not pre-cut this, so cut this quickly. So we get the little parking enforcement vehicle. What is this called? It doesn't say. And I don't remember what this is called. Yeah, kind of cool. It's not my favorite of Matchbox police type castings, but it's cool. Then we have a Chevrolet 2000 Chevrolet Suburban NYPD livery. It's cool. And Sport SUV. So is this a fantasy casting? It actually is, isn't it? Interesting. I've never seen this casting before. Looks kind of cool though. It's just a generic SUV casting. Police casting. But it's kind of nice. And then the Dodge Charger Pursuit with a push bar on the front and light bar on the top. No detail on the back or the front. So just the NYPD logo or livery. But this is cool. I collect Matchbox police cars for some reason. I just find them to be very cool. And then the last one is this tow truck, GMC Wrecker. This one's cool. This is the winner out of this set for me. And I do not have a version of this casting. Actually, I've never even seen it before. But very cool. Fun. Love Matchbox. No matter how many of these super premium models I get, I still love the mainline releases. Next up, from Greenlight in the Hollywood Hitch and Tow series, is this Rocky II themed pack that comes with a Trans Am and a Chevrolet C10 pickup, and then a car hauler. I got this for the car and the truck. The trailer is not super interesting to me, and then I don't actually know what I'm going to do with it. But the car and the truck look really cool. So first, just a quick look at this trailer. So just a plastic car hauler trailer. Seems to be pretty much all plastic. I don't think this is metal. Maybe it is, and then it opens so you could put your car in it. And it's kind of like a wood grain finish on that base, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, it's cool. And then the truck is black and gold. Looks really good. Love the wheel choice on this. And then you get the trailer hitch, of course, because it has to pull that trailer. And painted detail on the front. But yeah, this is fantastic. This looks really cool. Really, really cool. So let's hook up the trailer and drive him into the awesome Toyota there. And then the Pontiac Trans Am, which seems to have a little bit of a wonky hood there. That's unfortunate. And a wonky tire. I think that's going to have to be taken off and cleaned up. But yeah. Let's see. Can we open this hood? It's nice engine detail in there. So, yeah, this is cool. It's got some quality issues, which is unfortunate. Do these come off? Looks like they. Seems like they should. Looks like they should, or they're just bent. Anyway, I'm not gonna futz with that anymore. Yeah. So the thing that caught my attention in the set was this car. It just seemed like a really cool, classic version of this Trans Am. But I think the winner for me is actually the truck, which is a little bit of a surprise. I thought the truck was cool, but I really like it. Although maybe it's just the quality issues on this are turning me off a little bit. So, if you enjoyed this video, why don't you watch or consider watching this one next.